Hey guys, this is Jabroni. Today I want to show you 6 war attacks from our past 2 wars and explain why I think that they worked as well as they did. First up, we have CB Warrior versus number 11 base from our war against Dead Wolves. And what he is doing here is a Queen Charge Hybrid attack. He starts by using a baby dragon and a test balloon up at 12 o'clock. And a few more balloons over here over at 3 o'clock. And what he's doing is starting to set up a little bit of a funnel for the queen up there at the top and also bringing his blimp in. And his blimp gets huge value here. It gets a scatter shot, it gets the eagle, it gets an expo, and it also lures out the CC. That is one major reason why this attack worked so well, is the high value that he got from his Yeti blimp there. As I said earlier, he creates a nice funnel for his queen. His queen takes out the royal champion very early. He uses a jump spell, which allows his queen to very easily, without having to worry about wall breakers getting targeted by that multi-inferno, his queen can now jump in, take out this enemy CC, and eventually get to that multi-target inferno. You see, he does bring a wizard here, and this was very purposeful, to take out these trash buildings, which helps with cleanup at the end, because there's no defenses that his wizard has to worry about down there getting shot by. So that was a really smart move using that wizard. He uses his king over here at 9 o'clock, along with a baby dragon. He also eventually brings a wizard here. Now, one thing you have to worry about with any kind of queen charge attack is that if it goes too long, you could run into a time fail. So you'll see he brings his miners here and his hogs. He brings it now, because if he waits too much longer, there could be an issue with time fail. One of the reasons why this attack works so well is because, as you look, he's created a nice, clear, rectangular path for his hogs and miners to follow along. And that then helps with heal spell placement in making sure that it's not unpredictable for his miners or hogs. He knows where they're going to go, and that is a huge piece to any attack that you set up, but especially with a Queen Charge hybrid attack. From here, you'll notice he doesn't even really need his Royal Champion's ability or his Queen's ability. That's when you know that your attack has worked really, really, really well. Basically there he's swagging his Queen's ability and his Royal Champion's ability. He smashed this base. Excellent job, CB Warrior. Next up, we have Shoto versus base number 10, and he is bringing a Hero-Charge LaLoon attack, which is something he is so good at. He starts by bringing a balloon and a baby dragon, and this is purposeful. Not only does it help to funnel in his heroes, it also will eventually help to create a funnel for his balloons to eventually go in a predictable path. Remember, that's a huge part of any attack, a predictable path for your troops. His hero charge gets such huge value. It gets the enemy queen. It gets the enemy royal champion. It gets the enemy CC troops. It also gets an air defense. Huge value. And when you can get those things down, enemy queen, royal champion, CC troops, and an air defense with your hero push, then that is an excellent setup for a LaLoon attack. You'll notice when he brings his balloons from the left, I want to pause this real quick. He hastes the left group corner, and he brings his warden with the group over on the right. That's very purposeful. The corner over here at the top right was already taken out from the initial baby dragon and the balloon. So that part of the funnel for his main group of balloons was already created. The reason he brings the haste in the left corner is so that that corner is taken out, which means his main group of balloons will now have a direct path to the inner core of this base, along with his warden, which is why he brought his warden a little bit to the right to stay with that main group. And so the reason that this attack goes so well is he made such a huge value with his hero push and funneled so many balloons to that inner core. His warden's ability keeps his balloons alive, and the heal spell that he used now, if there's any balloons that were hurt from that scatter shot, now they're getting healed up from that heal spell. So he just completely smashes this base. What an excellent plan, Shoto. Minions were also brought, lots of minions for cleanup. And, I mean, he doesn't even need this haste spell down here at the bottom, but he uses it anyway to zoom those balloons to get those remaining defenses. Such an excellent attack, Shoto, getting the 3-star on this base. I've seen this base 3-star using Miners and Hogs Hybrid, but he just destroyed it. One more thing I want to point out. 2 of the expos were set to ground, and so whenever you see 2 or more expos set to ground, that's a great choice to do an air attack. Excellent job, Shoto. Third attack from this war is Armor of God, bringing a Pekka Yeti Bowler attack with quad quakes and a Yeti-Blimp. You will see that he brings a Pekka up here at 3 o'clock to help with the funnel. Since his queen was already taking damage, it made sure that the healer stayed on the queen. Now, he used, and this is a little expensive, but this was very purposeful, a Pekka and his Barb King to take out all of the buildings that were over here on the left. Very purposeful, so that way, where do his Yetis go? They have no place to go but the center of this base. He used quad quakes. He probably could have used a jump spell, but hey, this worked out, so I don't want to criticize too much here. This worked out really well. His main group of Yetis and Bowlers, they take out these scatter shots relatively early. Now, he knew that they weren't going to path to the town hall, so you'll see he brings this delayed Yeti-Blimp. And why did he bring it from this side? Because his healers would have already triggered any black air mines, which pretty much makes his blimp safe to path towards that town hall. So that was a really nice call. Another really nice call by Armor of God was bringing his Royal Champion down here from the bottom to take out those Teslas and other defenses that were located at that bottom. Now, from here, he used his Warden's ability a little bit later than I would have, but it did protect his Royal Champion to allow it to take down the last Inferno Tower. Sorry, the second to last Inferno Tower here. So that actually worked out really well. And another thing that worked out really well, and this is nothing you could plan, but hey, it's nice when things go really well in your attack. His archers, from his Queen's ability, kind of made a shield and also helped to give him a little extra punch to take down the enemy Queen and the enemy Royal Champion. The Yeti Mites soften up this single target Inferno, and then his Royal Champion, hey, when your Royal Champion can take down key stuff, that's huge. Finishes off that single target Inferno. All those things put together, along with just a little bit of cleanup left. One thing I would recommend, maybe save a couple wizards to help with cleanup. But he did have some archers here at the top, and he had a bowler that survived at the bottom. And that's all he needed to finish up cleaning up the remaining buildings on this attack. So nice job, Armor of God, bringing the Pekka Yeti Bowler attack with the Yeti-Blimp. Used really well to get that town hall, and that is what led to the 3 stars on this attack. From our next war, we have Smyrna at Town Hall 11, bringing an Electrone Mass E-Drags attack. One thing I want to point out, all 4 expos were set to ground, and both Inferno Towers were multi-target. So that's a great choice then for Smyrna to bring an air attack. And with all these buildings close to each other, with being 0 to 1 tiles apart, an E-Drag attack was an excellent choice. His Queen thankfully takes down the enemy Queen, so that was a really nice piece. He actually uses 2 E-Drags to help start to create the funnel for where his mass group of E-Drags are eventually going to come over on the right. He does the Electrone up here to get the enemy Eagle. He also will get 2 air defenses and an air sweeper, which is huge value. Actually, I think he got both air sweepers. So huge value here from the Electrone. The clone balloons get that air sweeper and air defense up there over on the left, and his E-Drag took down the air sweeper and the other air defense over here on the right. So now he has a pretty clear path for his E-Drags to go. Fortunately, 2 of them go a little bit to the left here to get out the town hall and the Teslas that are over here, so that was a little fortunate. The haste spell I would not have used, because haste does not help your troops to shoot any faster. It just helps them to travel faster. So the haste spell was probably not really that useful. Another thing, his king unfortunately lures out the enemy CC loons. The good news was enemy CC loons are going to have, no threat to the E-Drag, so that was fortunately not an issue. Like I said earlier, since all these buildings are 1 or 0 tiles apart, the chain link of the mass group of E-Drags are able to take out the other air defense that was up here, and I believe his other E-Drag that was still working on the left got huge value and got the other air defense. So great job, Smyrna, using an excellent choice of an attack when you have ground set expos and buildings that are 0 to 1 tiles apart and 2 Infernos that are both set to multi-set. Getting great value from his cloned balloons and E-Drag from that Electrone piece. Excellent attack, Smyrna, and that is why he was able to take out a max Town Hall 11 with his attack. Next up, we have Joseph, bringing a Yeti Bowler attack with a Wall Wrecker and 2 jump spells. One thing I like that he did is he used an E-Drag up here to take out all the different buildings that were 0 to 1 tiles apart, so that helped to create the left side of the funnel. Now, little criticism here, Joey did not really funnel the right side. So what happens is that a Pekka and like 3 or 4 Yetis here end up traveling around the right. But that actually ended up working out beautifully. I don't know if he planned that or if it just, worked out in his favor. But they end up keeping the middle group of bowlers and Yetis along with his queen and his king and his warden. I think he had a dragon in his CC as well, along with the Pekka. That group that walked to the right helps to keep his middle group to stay in the middle. So that actually worked out really well to his benefit. Another reason why this attack worked so well is that his middle group got both scatter shots early and the Town Hall early, and then went to the Eagle next and 2 of the Infernos. His queen actually gets 1 of the Infernos. And so what's his plan for the last Inferno? He brought his Royal Champion down here from the bottom to get that last Inferno. And now almost all the buildings that needed to be reached from the center and the middle group have already been taken down. From here, he starts some cleanup over here on the left with some archers. Now, I would have recommended, like with Armor of God's attack, to bring maybe 2 wizards, maybe 3 wizards, maybe some minions to help with cleanup. But since he has like 4 Yetis still alive, along with his queen and a Pekka, that one Pekka that he brought at the beginning stayed alive, this was a really great attack. And again, a base identification. All the Infernos were set to multi-target, and he was able to get the scatter shots down early along with the Town Hall and the Eagle relatively early. And so that can make a Yeti attack work extremely well. So great job, Joseph, with this plan. It worked out beautifully to get the 3-star on this base. Excellent job. The last attack I'm going to show you here is an attack that I did, doing a Queen Charge, kind of a Queen Walk hybrid attack with the Yeti-Blimp. At least it was supposed to be a Yeti-Blimp. But, yeah, I was given a Stone Slammer, but it's my fault. Guys, you always got to check to make sure that you have the right stuff donated to you, along with your heroes being up. Fortunately, the Slammer does end up getting the Town Hall, thanks to, I think I used a freeze spell. I wasn't sure if I needed it or not, but at this point I'm like, I need to make sure I get that Town Hall down. So I raged the Yetis here, and a couple other things that were important to make this attack work. I used a baby drag with a test balloon here at 8 o'clock to make sure that my queen stays on the inside and doesn't walk on the outside. I also brought a Valkyrie. A little hard to see here. There's a Valkyrie. And she helps to take down those enemy skeletons, which was a big piece. My CC Valkyrie that was with my CC bowlers fortunately took down the enemy witches, so that was very helpful as well with making this attack work. I brought my king up here at 11 o'clock, and the purpose was he can take out those buildings up there at that corner And then I have a predictable path for my miners and hogs to follow here in this nice rectangular channel. Guys, as I've said already on this video, that's a huge piece to making any attack work, having a predictable path for the main part of your troops. Freezing the first scatter shot was helpful to make my queen take it down. And then from here, it's a matter of choosing when to use the heal spells and when to use the warden's ability. I use my warden's ability at this point so that way they can help to make the royal champion take down the enemy queen and also to help my troops stay alive through that scatter shot. The other heal spell was also used to help keep my troops alive through the last scatter shot and the enemy king. I tried to use some minions to take down this cannon. It didn't work because I used them too early and the archer towers picked them off. So that could have been done a little bit better. But kind of like with the first attack I showed from CB Warrior, when you basically don't need your queen's ability or the royal champion's ability, then you know that your plan has worked very well to get the attack done. So due to the funneling I created with the queen and the king and also the Yeti-Blimp, which ended up being a Yeti Stone Slammer, I had a predictable path for my miners and hogs to make this work for a 3-star. There you go, guys. I hope you were able to learn little pieces as to what can make attacks work and a little bit on base identification from the 6 attacks that I showed from the highlights of the past 2 wars that Jesus Knights did. All right, we'll see you next time.